I'm sure most of you have noticed this, that two people from absolutely similar backgrounds, let's say from same college, from same specialization, who ends up working in a same company, after 5 to 6 years, they are earning drastically different CTC. One is not very far away from the CTC at which he or she joined, and the other one grew exponentially and is earning a big fat package in the same 4-5 years. Have you ever wondered why does that happen, even if two of them have similar capabilities in terms of skill set? So in today's video, you'll learn all those reasons, and you'll also learn how to be in that category of exponential growth. At least I think as a viewer of Corporate Diaries, you must be in that category. That's the least expectation that I have from all of you guys. That's why I'm making all of these awareness videos on this channel. So make sure that you're following all these suggestions and you finally land into that exponential growth category. So on that note, let's get started. The number one factor that impacts this growth is the project at which you are working. For most of the freshers and early professionals who are not very experienced yet, companies do not assign them projects right away when they join. There's always this judgment period in between where the manager who has hired you try to judge you in terms of your capabilities, how your attitude is. Basis that, they are going to assign a project, whether it will be a high value project and not so high value project. I have screamed this out on my channel, I don't know, hundreds of times. In every relevant video where the project talk comes up, I have said this, guys. The most important thing for your career is project. Doesn't matter which fancy brand you work in. If the project that you're working in sucks, you are not going to grow in your career whatsoever. On the flip side, if you're working on a great project on just a random company, on a street side company, you are going to grow exponentially in your career. So pay attention to what project you are picking rather than what brand you are working in. And now it's time to know that what kind of employees get high value project and what kind of employees get those copy paste kind of project. If you have joined new in the company and from the day one you are giving those vibes that you're trying to escape the work, you are trying to get rid of the work or complete it as soon as possible, or you're trying to suggest somebody else's name for the work which your manager is giving, or you're just simply giving the vibes that you find it too difficult, you will not be able to handle it, or you carry around that tag, oh, I don't know how to do it, I'm too new, or it's too early for me to work on this project. If you are giving those kind of vibes, it clearly showcases to the manager that either you are not interested or you are not capable. So you will get assigned to a project which is fairly simple, monotonous, and at that point you might feel that you have taken a smart decision, you got the easy project, and the other employees who joined with you, who was always sincere and tried showcasing responsibility, taking the pain, and you think he got the difficult project, so you are the smartest one. You are the actual fool who got picked for not so great project. Tomorrow, after 4-5 years, when you go out in the market to switch job, the person whom you are assuming to be a fool or not smart enough will get 200 times more hike than you get. So make sure that you do not project lousy attitude. Obviously there is always help around and things are new for everybody. It's not so when you ask, people will not help you. If things are new to you and you are not confident enough, do not try to shy away from that work or project which the manager is trying to assess you on. Try to take the responsibility, try to take that pain to learn, to ask questions. They will be happy to help you. Now that's point number one. And point number two is switching projects internally. This is not a rocket science, but still not many people do this. Everybody tries to get into their comfort zone. If somebody is assigned to a project, that person wants to be in that project forever because it's familiar. Now they know how to troubleshoot everything, what kind of issues will come. Now they have good interaction with the client or the manager, project, whatever. People essentially get comfortable into their projects, and when it's time to move on to a new project, they feel reluctant. So here I want to give you an example. If there are two employees, both worked for 4 years around in a company, one worked on single project for the entire 4 years. The other employee worked on more than one project in the span of those 4 years. When both of these employees go out in the market to give the interview for any position, the one which has worked on more than one project in those 4 years will always be preferred. Why? Because the person has rich experience, have diverse experience, and he or she knows that how to handle things from scratch. If something new comes, if new project comes, how to handle that from scratch, how to interact with new clients. It's always something new. And if somebody knows that better, how to deal with that newness better, how to deal with things which are not very familiar, people who are good at managing all of those things always are valued more than somebody who has always been focused only on one task. Obviously it's important to be specialized at something, but I guess on an average it takes anybody around 1 year to get the expertise on the skill or the project they are working in around 1 year you are expert enough, you know everything, you get comfortable, and you can say that for 1 year you are working, you have the experience of working on that project. Rest 3 years you are just copy pasting the efforts that you did in first year, or things you learned in first year, you are just copy pasting them for the rest of 3 years. So that will not count as a very rich experience, and it will show, it will reflect in your personality, in the conversations that you will have during the interview process. If there is a candidate who is interviewing for the same position who happens to have a diverse portfolio than you, then obviously that person will get preferred. So do not get into your comfort zone. Try to experience and learn new things, new projects in your company. Moving on to our third point, which is not wasting your time on back burner tasks. Something that kills the spirit of a lot of employees, and they do not understand why they never get a good hike or they never get highlighted for the work, for the kind of work that they do. And the point is wasting your time on back burner tasks. Now at your job you'll always find that there are few tasks which are front-ended and there are tasks which are little less priority. Obviously they also needs to be completed, but they will not get to the result instantly, or the result even if the results are good, they will not be seen by higher authorities. So for people who always get good hike or who always get that promotion, they always focus on tasks which will get them seen. They never waste their time on back burner tasks. And if you find that you are not in a position where you can take those decisions yourself, that which task to do first and what to manage, and you have a team lead or a manager who always dumps the low priority task at you, things which will not be seen by anybody, things which do not weigh enough in terms of performance evaluation. If this is the scenario, you have to identify it immediately and you have to put your hands into high priority tasks that will bring you in front of management or people who are deciding those hikes and performance numbers. So you have to put your hands into those tasks, otherwise you'll keep doing a lot of stuff which is just low priority or just simply back burner tasks where nobody will notice you. You'll keep working in dark, in shadows, and nobody will ever know how much effort you put. So make sure that you balance well. You cannot totally get rid of those low priority tasks, but you have to balance them well. You also have to do things which make you visible in the company. Moving on to our next point, which is setting expectations. Now in companies, whoever makes the noise gets it first. That's true. I said it as a HR. It's always the case. If you have not set the expectations with your manager in terms of what hike you are expecting or what growth you are expecting in the company, you are never going to get it. If you are like that good girl or good guy in the company who always listens to the manager and is not communicating the expectations, that you are never going to get it. You'll always fall into that category of employees who get good rating, as in because you are sincere, you are doing your work, you'll get the good rating, but money, it will not come to you. Rather, you'll find people who are setting their expectations well and who are communicating that we are working good, so we want the hike to be good. So these kind of people do get a little bit more than people who work in silos and do not communicate. So make sure that you set the expectations right with your manager, with your team lead, whomever you are interacting for performance appraisal. From the day one, set your expectations and do not work in silo. That is as good as doing work for charity. So do not do that. And the last point on the list, which impacts the exponential growth, is shifting technologies. Whenever you see something new in terms of technology is picking up in the market, make sure that you get your hands on it. You are the first one to get the certification on it. If you are in a technical job, guys, you cannot shy away from these things. And even if it is not a technical job, if it is a management job and there is something, some certification, some technology that has come up or some process that has come up new in the market and is valuable and people are finding it valuable, companies are valuing it, companies are hiring for that new technology, you have to upgrade yourself. And in some cases it can so happen that you find your current employer itself hiring for that new technology. You can go and pitch yourself. You will be given extraordinary hike in those cases, because what can be a more beautiful combination than this, that you already know the process of the company, but you also upgraded yourself with the new technology. So it's a perfect combination an employer can have, and they will be more than happy to reward you accordingly for that new technology. So if you want to take out one single mantra from this entire session, then you can take this, that whoever is open to change, open to learning, open to upgrading himself or herself on their own, always gets that exponential growth which everybody dreams about, but nobody puts effort into it. So guys, these were 5 factors that will always impact your growth in your entire career. So make sure that you're always open and you're aware and you're taking decisions in favor of your career growth. So that was it, guys. I hope you derived some value out of this conversation. If you still have queries around this topic, you can leave them in the comment section. I'll try to answer them to the best of my abilities. With that, I'm signing off. You stay tuned to Corporate Diaries to be corporate ready, and I'll see you in my next video. Till then, stay safe and healthy. Take care. Bye.